Outlander Season 7 Episode 6 just came out and revealed a few mysteries. We learned more about what we saw in the turn in the previous episode. But most importantly, the damn nuckelavee finally showed his face. It was a pretty horrifying scene. So, before talking about the 18th century storyline, I would like to focus on what happened with Bree and Roger in this episode. First of all, my theories about the potential portal in the tunnel turned out to be correct. While discussing what Bree explained in the tunnel, they realized the tunnel was on the same ley lines as the Crown of Dune. Let me explain quickly for those who don't know what the ley line is. Ley lines are basically imaginary straight lines between important historical and natural landmarks. Some people believe that ancient people knew these lines and erected structures along them. Some even thought that structures along a ley line were powerful or magic. In Outlander, we learned that the tunnel was on the same ley line as the Cardion, which means Bree saw a time portal with outstanding circle. But there is a bad news now. Rob Cameron known about the time travel. In a great rush, Bree and Roger packed Roger's notebook about the time travel and put it among his other notes. When Roger went to Jamie's school to speak to the students and parents about Gaelic, he accidentally gave his notebook to Rob Cameron. Rob's presence there was already suspicious. He said he brought his nephew, but we did not see him. Did we know he saw the notebook and knows what Roger wrote about the time travel? He then invited himself to the dinner in the pathetic way. He definitely wants something. He probably wants to learn more about the time travel. He must have seen the things in the tunnel and perhaps seeing the Roger's note about the portal in the tunnel. He wants to learn more about it. There is the nuckelavee not saying something about him. Almost all the episode, I almost lost hope of finding out about him. But when Roger saw him through the window, I was so scared. You would not believe it. Then the rest is like the horror sequence. If you watch my previous videos, you would already know. Remember, I knew who the nuckelavee was. Buck Mackenzie. But since a different actor plays the character, I was equally excited to see the face behind the name. I felt like Roger immediately recognized him because he was the one who interacted with him in Season 5. Seeing Buck's reluctance to talk with the Mackenzie, I think he does not even know why he is there. He probably traveled through the stones by the chance, ending up in 20th century and has been trying to understand his whereabouts. I hope we learn more about him in the next episode. I'm also reluctant to talk right now because I have a little problem with Jamie and Carrie storyline. The whole storyline is based on either characters trying to save the other after one of them does something stupid. Should not it be clear by now that wandering off when British soldiers are surrounding the foolish and dangerous? She is like a child chasing a butterfly in the wind without thinking about the consequences. I know Claire and Jamie are both brilliant characters, but this repetitiveness in the story bothers me a little. Of course, that does not mean I don't enjoy the story of this episode. I was especially curious to see what would happen to the Walter. Poor guy. Just when I thought he had enough traumatic experiences to go, he also turned out to have a heart problem and died. At least Jerry's was there to hold his hand. To be a surgeon must be really hard. To think that you always need to help someone. That's why I believe Claire always put herself in the danger. She has this urge to help anyone in need and does not care if she gets lost in this process. Another scene that I liked was between the William, young Lan, and Claire. We indeed saw how honorable William really is. He did what he thought was right and let Lan and Clary go. And when Claire talked about William with Jamie later in episode, I felt like I could not agree more. It does seem to be the combination of Lord John Grey and Jamie Fraser. In summary, he is the luckiest man in the world. I would not end this video without talking about the Rachel and the young Lan. They bonded over Rolando and I could not happier. Honestly, I'm ready for their wedding invitation. My overall review of this episode is pretty positive. I really like both storylines, but I should say for the first time in Outlander, I'm enjoying Roger and Bree's storyline much more than others. That's probably because of the mystery element. I wonder about the nuckelavee, Rob Cameron, and the portal in the tunnel. Everything is more exciting with the Mackenzie in this season. But who am I kidding? It's because of the Roger's new style, his shorter hair, and those lumberjack shirts. I love watching him in the modern clothes, to be the honest. That's it about the episode 6.